There's a whole bunch of stuff happened today. It's a long day, so many different activities. And of course, like this morning, like every other morning, Peter came over and we went to the park. And it's become a ritual. A ritual, I realized, with watching a YouTube video is the repetition with intention. The fact that we're going there every morning and we have the intention every morning, the same intention over and over again. And what it is we start, there's a whole bunch of people that are doing the same thing, going to that same park every morning. And then every day we're meeting somebody new, and it's like we're all connecting, like the people we're introducing the people we met yesterday to the people we met today, and we're all talking. It's becoming like a community at that park. There's so many of us that are starting to get to know each other and talk to each other and share so much intimate stuff together. It's like that's so crucial. I keep talking about how important that is with the exchange of experiences and ideas with diverse people. It seems to be so it's so beneficial, so fascinating. It's just wonderful. I couldn't believe that you could get so much benefit from going to the park with a friend. It's just incredible. And then and then I came back from the park, and then I had that brief episode. I had a crisis. I had it's for some reason some I don't know why it happens when it happens, but the fact that it keeps repeating on daily or every other day, I get through this state that I for some reason I get in an emotional state that I think I I think it's for some reason I'm going through a crisis, you see. And then the fact that right now I feel perfectly fine. I'm so happy, and I can see I'm so glad about my circumstances. And back then, in that just few hours ago, during that emotion, how differently I was perceiving my circumstances, my situation, the world. There's something about that keeps repeating, and this is what it is that I can't wait till I get into that state again. Knowing what I know now, I'm making certain I remember this, that I'm so fortunate. My circumstances are so wonderful. It's so wonderful to be alive, even despite what's going on, the COVID and all the stuff. That I just can't, I mean, it's definitely, it keeps happening. The fact that it keeps happening over again means that it will happen. I just can't wait to be in a state of crisis, emotional crisis, knowing full well what I know now, that I'm so happy that I'm in that state. I'm perfectly happy. I'm so glad. I feel like I'm the luckiest man in the world, actually. And knowing that, place this thought in the middle of that state in which I feel like I'm in crisis, and have those two exist in that simultaneously. I just can't wait for that to happen. And with the intention that now this emotion I'm having, but I know perfectly well how fortunate I am, and then have that knowledge that I'm so glad to be who I am, transform that crisis and feeling of crisis, and turn it into the knowledge that everything is fine. That that I so much want that to happen. And then this I was talking to a therapist on the phone. Interesting discussion happened that I guess I can share this. It's a really private thing that the psychiatrist told me. The reason you meeting all these women, you're talking to all these women, is you are still looking for a good mother. You're searching for a good mother. And I told this therapist what the psychiatrist had said, and she says, Zeke, go tell that psychiatrist every man is still looking for the good mother. That's something every man is going. It's just some of us more than others. That's constant. There's something about, and that I was at Janet's meeting, and the lady said, then also every woman is also still looking for the right, the good father. You see, there's something to that. And okay, I want to talk about the homework, the written assignment for the psychology class, the critical thinking class, that the instructor had said, the professor had said that people's lives transform doing this assignment. The assignment is to pick discuss the three most important goals in your life, and like plan it out, every detail of it. There's a whole science of how you deal with your goals to make them come through. And then I had written mine, and of course I guess I should tell you before I say what the goals are, that it's complete fantasy, the goals that I had written down. And there's something really, really significant about this concept that I really want to convey here. I share it with a lot of people. The three goals, the introduction to this written assignment, in which I write the whole thing, I explain the whole thing in concisely. But it's a fantasy. And the lady at the Janus meeting just now that I came home from, she was worried that if she told me it's a fantasy that I would be offended. I said, I'm sorry, you think I don't know it's a fantasy? I'm perfectly aware it's a fantasy. The distinction is that this is, I don't know how I can convey this as this concept here. The fact that it's a real fantasy. You see, it might not be a real something that's real, but the fantasy is real. There's something about that. I'm trying to find ways of conveying what that means. And one way I'm representing that, which I'm also gonna write in the paper, is that I'm gonna go through the entire paper. The paper that processes the goals that you're having, in a way, putting in a timetable, making all the details of your goal, that by this date this will happen, and seeing all the details of the fruition of your goals in very real detail. And the thing that I want to convey, I'm going to convey it by seeing through this fantasy as if it's real, because I think it is real in the fact that it's a real fantasy. And I keep trying to find ways of expressing that in a better way. I think I will succeed in like future videos, describing this. But this is as best I can to describe this concept. The same thing about a delusion. You see, when somebody with a mental condition has a delusion, of course, it's a different kind of a belief. A delusion is a belief that just isn't true, right? But that thought that somebody is having is a real delusion. Doesn't make it any less real a delusion. It is a thought, a belief that somebody is having. It is of such precious value because it conveys so much about that person and the psyche of that person, what's going on with that person. It is of such, it has a dignity of for itself. It is a thought. It is it doesn't make it any less real a thought, you see. The fact that it's a delusion doesn't make it any less real a belief. There's something about that I'm trying to convey that that is of such crucial importance, I think, that I get that across. I could actually write a book about it. I've thought about that so much. That every thought has a dignity to itself, no matter how outlandish. The only thing, this is an important point. The only thing that would rob a belief or a thought of its dignity, and I've said this before in a previous video a long time, years ago, is the degree to which it denigrates something or some thought or somebody else. If it hurts somebody to the degree it hurts somebody, then it loses its value and respect and dignity. You see, there's something about that. I mean, I should write that out some point. I like the whole thing I've explained it, but if I could find the right words, and I will get to that point. I'm making that intention to write this out and articulate it in a way that's clear and concise and accurate, and talk to different people, psychologists, psychology professors, and people that I know, authorities in the field, and the concept of it is fascinating to me. So now that I've said it to you, this goal that I have, it's a goal that I have, it's just a fantasy. And I want to tell you what it is. That my YouTube channel goes viral, that everybody's talking about it, that is of such precious value, the content of it, that it becomes deserving of coverage on national TV, cable TV channels, and then as a result of that, it becomes monetized, and I get a fortune from it. You see, and then I use that fortune to realize my dream of purchasing a large property, a campus with abundant living quarters, and where I would have I would invite people that I like, that I want in there to live there, in these residential units, and they would be part of a movement that I have. All of us will be there, helping each other heal and transform and cultivate. And cultivate, why did I say that? Because it has no connotation with cannabis. For some reason, I just had the thought the word cultivation would have something to do, nothing to do with cannabis. I have no interest in that whatsoever. I don't know why that came up. The word cultivate, I meant, help each other develop and realize our full potential, realize our destiny, fulfill our destiny, and then have that the whole compound, the place, be inspiration for the whole world to realize, have the whole world to function, have the heaven on earth, the dream of heaven on earth, for the whole world to function harmoniously and peacefully, without any conflict, without any lack, without any suffering, you see. And then, of course, now that I describe it that way, I'm wondering why I would describe that as a fantasy.